The man in a suit, this time wearing native, drove into a large estate and went into a large house in the estate. The house belonged to the Baloguns, a well-known and respected family. They had only one child. "Tunde, my son," said a woman as she hugged him when he entered the house. "Good afternoon, Mom," Tunde replied. "We haven't seen you in a while," said Tunde's mom. "You know how it is with work, Mom. It's been really busy," Tunde replied. "How is your wife?" asked Tunde's mom, with a look of disappointment on her face. "Mother, don't start," said Tunde exasperatedly. "All I want from her is a grandchild, and even that she couldn't give me." "Is father in?" Tunde asked, ignoring what his mother said. "Yes, he's in his study." "Thanks, Mom." Tunde pecked his mother on her cheeks and went to meet his father in his study. "Good afternoon, sir," Tunde greeted his father, who was busy reading. "Ah, Tunde, I've been expecting you," said Tunde's father, dropping the book he was reading. "There's something of great importance I want to discuss with you." "What is it, sir?" replied Tunde. "It's about the Balogun's name and the family's business. The family name can't end with you. Your mother is right, you know. You need a child." "I'm doing my best, sir," Tunde replied. "Try harder," said Mr. Balogun. Now onto other matters. Mr. Balogun and Tunde continued their conversation on family business. Kere went back to the motel to meet Debbie. "I hate that woman," Kere said angrily to Debbie. She recounted everything her mother told her. "She claims she did it to protect me. Well, it's easy for her to say when she has her own family," said Kere. "I have to find my father." "What if what your mother said about your father is true?" said Debbie. "I don't believe anything she said. She probably got rid of me because I was a hindrance to her perfect loving family," said Kere. "The problem is I don't know who my father is or where to start from to search for him," Kere said. "You could ask your mother," Debbie suggested. "Yes, I will." "No, I can't tell you," said Alero. "I'm doing this to protect you." Kere had gone back to ask Alero about her father, but Alero was refusing to tell her anything. Kere gave up and left her mother's house. "There has to be a way for us to find out about your father," Debbie said to Kere when she returned to the motel. They sat in silence for a while. "I have got an idea," said Kere, bringing out her phone. "I'm going to check my mother's page on Facebook." So she searched for Alero's page and found it. Then started scrolling through the page for what seemed like forever. She was almost giving up before she saw something that caught her attention. "Check this out," Kere said to Debbie. It was a picture of Alero and a man. The name of the person tagged to the picture was Tunde Balogun. "I can see a bit of resemblance," Debbie said, looking from the man to Kere. "You think so?" asked Kere, excitement building up in her. Kere clicked on Tunde Balogun's page and scrolled through it, but there wasn't much to see there. "It seems like a private person," remarked Debbie. Luckily for them, however, there was an address on the profile page, though containing just the state Lagos. Kere googled Tunde Balogun, and the search results showed that he was from a renowned family that owned many well-known companies, and he was married. I can go to any of these companies and ask about him, said Kere. Someone this important won't be easy to find, replied Debbie. I'm not giving up. I have to at least try. So while Debbie went back home to Delta, Kere went to Lagos to try and find her father. Luckily for Kere, she had a friend who she could stay with in Lagos. On getting to Lagos, she started her research about her father and found out that her father will be giving a lecture at a conference coming up soon in one of the family's companies. So she secured an invitation to the event. The day of the conference finally came. Kere was seated among the crowd as she anticipated her father's appearance. Finally, it was Tunde Balogun's turn to give his short lecture. He was welcomed with a loud applause from the audience. Kere watched with admiration as he spoke, taking note of the little resemblance they had. When he ended the lecture, Kere joined the audience as they applauded him. During the reception of the conference, Kere finally saw an opportunity to meet Tunde. She walked up to him. "Hello, sir. Can I speak with you for a minute?" Tunde turned to face her. "Hello, do I know you?" "No, sir, but I have something important to tell you. If I could have your attention for a minute." "Okay, I'm all ears," Tunde replied. Kere took a deep breath. "Sir, I know this may sound strange to you, but I think you are my father." "What sort of nonsense is this?" Tunde asked dismissively. "Here, look," said Kere, showing Tunde a picture of himself and Alero. There was a stunned silence for a moment. "I will explain everything to you, sir. Just hear me out," Kere said. "Is this some sort of a prank?" Tunde asked. "No, sir. This is very real. I just recently found out myself," answered Kere. "Here is my card. Come to my office tomorrow at 10 a.m., Tunde said, giving Kere his business card. "This better not be some sick joke," he said and walked away. The next day at 10 a.m., Kere was at Tunde's office. "So, what is the meaning of what you said yesterday?" Tunde asked. "I will start from the beginning," Kere said, and she narrated the whole story to Tunde. "I never knew Alera was pregnant for me," he said. "I will need to verify your story. We are going to do a DNA test." "Do you have Alera's number?" Tunde asked. "No, but I have her address," Kere replied, and she gave him Alera's address. From there, they went to a hospital and asked for a DNA test. Their samples were collected and they were told that their results will be ready in a week's time. A week later, Kere got a call from Tunde. "Kere, can you come to my office tomorrow? I have the result with me." So the next day, Kere went to Tunde's office and they opened the result together. The test results showed that Kere was indeed Tunde's daughter. "This is great news," said Tunde happily. "Really?" Kere asked, feeling surprised at Tunde's reaction. "Yes, I'm really happy about it. My parents will be so happy. Come on, let's go to my family's house. I mean, our family house. After all, you are part of the family now." "Let me introduce you to everyone," said Tunde eagerly. And so they went to Balogun's house. The house was the biggest house Kere had ever seen. The house looked like a castle. She couldn't stop admiring the interior decoration. She was in awe. "Father, mother, there's someone I would like you to meet," said Tunde, gesturing at Kere. "This is Kere. Last week she came to me with an outrageous claim that she is my daughter. I didn't believe her, so I did a DNA test and the results showed that she is indeed my daughter. There was a stunned silence. Who is her mother? Asked Mr. Balogun. Remember Alero? She is her mother. Turns out she got pregnant from him but hid it from me. Kere just found out herself recently also. What delightful news! Mrs. Balogun exclaimed as she hugged Kere. Well, welcome to the family, Mr. Balogun said with a faint smile on his face. Kere was overwhelmed by the cheerful welcoming they gave her. So I have such a beautiful family and my mother hid it from me, Kere thought to herself with tears in her eyes. Don't cry, darling, said Mrs. Balogun, patting Kere. You are with family now. Tunde's wife, however, didn't have the same reaction as his parents. She was upset about this new discovery, but Tunde tried to calm her down and reassure her that it doesn't change anything. Over the following weeks, Tunde introduced Kere to all of the family's businesses and made her a manager of one of the branches. He also gave her a fully furnished house and a car. Kere, who wasn't used to having this much, felt like it was all a dream. The love, the acceptance is really heartwarming. I told you my mother was lying, Kere saying to Debbie over the phone. I'm really happy for you, Kere. What could your mother gain from lying about your father? Asked Debbie. I really have no idea. I don't trust that woman. Imagine keeping the truth from her daughter her whole life, replied Kere. Well, you have a nice day in Lagos and be safe. Thanks, babe. I miss you so much, said Kere. I miss you too, my girl. Bye. And they hung up. About 2 months later, while going through the accounting records of the branch she was managing, Kere stumbled upon some accounting details that didn't seem to add up. So she called the account manager to inquire about it, but the account manager was not being straightforward. Do you know you could end up in jail because of this? She asked him. This must be an error, man. I suggest you talk to Mr. Tunde about it, he replied. So Kere called her father and told him about the discovery. I will handle it, he said. These workers sometimes make these types of mistakes, and so Kere let the matter die. However, a month later, when she was at one of the company's branches, she went down to the basement to collect some supplies. On getting to the basement, she overheard muffled voices coming from a closed room. Out of curiosity, she went closer to the door to listen well. She could distinguish her father's voice from the other voices. The supply ought to have gotten here by now, said Tunde. There was a minor delay at the security checkpoint, but everything was sorted out. The weapons and the drugs were not discovered by the authorities, said another man in the room. At that moment, Kere's phone rang, and before she could end the call, everyone in the room was alerted. Her father and the others rushed out. Tunde was shocked to see Kere. He had a dangerous look on his face. Kere had never seen this side of him, and immediately she ran out of the basement, into an elevator and back to the top floor of the building, her heart pounding hard in her chest. Find her and bring her to me, Tunde shouted at one of the men with him, rage visibly in his eyes, and he walked out of the room.